What do I say? If you're new to this channel, I'm Yorgo. I'm an ex-PhD student and psychologist, and I decided to develop my own productivity app. It's a sort of gamified life management system, one place to organize your life. And in this video, I'm gonna talk about how I launched my first app, how it went, kind of showing the numbers of just a normal guy launching an app, talking about it on social media. I will talk about how that went and then what the plan is now. So let's get started. I launched my app on the 12th of March on both iOS and Android. And I posted on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, my personal Instagram and the one I had made for Orakemu, my app. And I also posted on X. I just shared a selfie with the app and my face and a little text about the app, what it was doing and how I was feeling about the launch. And actually the post on X, Facebook, actually all over my social media, the post did well, especially on X where I posted in the Build in Public community. And there I got a lot of support. People were also interested in the app, and I was actually quite surprised about how much traction I was getting. And so this initial phase of the launch gathered a lot of curiosity, I guess, from friends, family, but also strangers, especially on X. And so there was an initial spike the day of the launch and the day afterwards, which then, well, disappeared. I think the first day there was about maybe 80 downloads or so, and I received some initial feedback since then. So since a month and a half, the downloads have lowered up until now, where there are about maybe 2 or 3 downloads on average a day on iOS and Android. And recently there was a little spike as well, and this spike was due to me translating the App Store and Android Store descriptions, keywords, etc. to different languages. So that brought in maybe 30 or 20 downloads, but now it's back to low numbers. After the launch, while I was posting on X about little progress, the initial launch, some initial feedback I was getting, so while I was building in public on X, it helped with getting a few more downloads to the app. But then this last month of April was crazy because I joined a second incubator or a startup program in a sense, which is called Started KBC. And it's awesome because it's a 12-month program that's really gonna help me have some accountability and have someone to share my ideas with, be also in a community surrounded by entrepreneurs on the same journey with interesting projects at different stages. So that's really cool, and I'm excited to see how that will go. Only problem with that is there was a lot of time investment because I had to pitch, I had to prepare the pitch, and then there was a 2-day bootcamp where we got to meet all the startups selected for this cohort. Then there's also meetings with my coach, meetings with the whole cohort and people from Brussels, which is all very exciting. And I also participated in an event or two, one where I got to pitch my app in front of students and another where I got to pitch my app at a sort of startup fair. And so that was all really interesting, and I had the opportunity to meet a few people, perfect users for my app, and so I hope I can put my app into their hands and get feedback from them. So that's about the launch. So in total, since the 12th of March, I had about 378 downloads. And from those 378 downloads, 220 users made an account, and from those 220 users got about 2 annual subscriptions and 6 weekly subscriptions, which of now only 1 remain. So I have to see, because there's a 7-day trial that now I extend to 14 days. Maybe I will have a few new subscribers in a few days, who knows. This conversion is normal, and this conversion from free trial, which didn't involve entering any credit card details or so, just so that the user could feel more at ease to try out the app without fearing subscription starting automatically. And so the conversion to paid is about 5%, which is typical, I think, for apps. But of course the churn is a bit sad. It just means that the app is not yet good enough, but the fact that some people paid for it means that there is an interest in the idea for the app. Some people believe in it. I had especially more detailed feedback from 2 users in particular. One is a PhD student. So that was actually my case. I had the idea for the app during my PhD. It's a PhD student in psychology that want to keep track of where they spend their time and energy and see how much they're working on their PhD and see which parts of their PhD are taking up more time. So that's really cool because I was one of my ideal type of users. And then another user was a music producer, and he used TickTick as his main app for task management and time tracking, etc. And he gave me super valuable feedback on Orakimu. First of all, he said that he loved using Orakimu, but the thing is, there were a few features missing for him to completely switch over to Orakimu. He liked the time tracking, the experience points, the timeline where you can have everything at a glance. But for him, there was a desktop version that was missing, or web version at least. He also needed calendar integration and he needed recurring tasks. And so I don't have those yet. Since then, however, I made 2 updates to the app. First update was about bug fixes that users found. And then the second update was for a web version and some little features users asked for, because for example when you created a task afterwards you couldn't switch it between live roles, so that was annoying. Also, when you were creating a task you couldn't add it directly to a project, you had to go to the project and add it from there. So all of these little things I added to the app, so it's little quality of life improvements. And so now my big focus is on actually implementing first of all the web version. So I did a first version of the web version. It's not responsive at all. It's just the app, but on web. So it still needs improvements. Then the second feature and third feature I'm working on are the recurring tasks, habits and goals, and also the calendar integration. And so I don't know how long it will take to implement those. I need to get into a routine of coding again, because I didn't code that much the last few weeks. But now with AI, of course, things go so fast. I could make a video about how I use AI with flutterflow to develop my app. So if that's interesting to you, definitely leave a comment here on YouTube. So yeah, that's all the things I wanted to talk about today. I guess also one lesson I had from the past month is not to underestimate the power of talking about your app in different spots. Because even though I only posted a few short videos on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, I saw some users coming from TikTok, Instagram and YouTube. Maybe only 2-3 from each platform, but it's something. So it's encouraging, and definitely on top of adding these 3 features to Orakimu during the next month, hopefully, I'm also planning on making a vlog, maybe a month or every 2 weeks. I think every week is too much for me at this stage, or it just needs to be very no editing videos, just me talking to the camera and giving a short update of how things are going. I definitely need to learn about all of this and how to more efficiently create content, talk about my app, maybe also create some educational content about how to organize your life. So those are the goals for the next month. Work on these features, post more short form content, and this can be educational, where I share some tips, productivity tips, life management tips, ADHD tips. It can be also some founder-led content, which is a bit related, but this type of content is where I will share about my journey, how I got the idea for Orakimu. And then I can also maybe share some meme content, so one strategy or a viral format. So one strategy I see a lot of B2C app creators use is to make organic short form content on TikTok and Instagram, make memes, make videos that show the best features of the app and show how good looking or how easy to use the app is. So that's the plan for the next month. You can expect an update about it in a few weeks, definitely. So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions about my process of coding, of sharing online. Don't hesitate to follow me on Instagram or follow me here on YouTube to follow my journey as a normal guy trying to launch an app, my first and only app for now. I will document the whole journey and see where this thing can go. My goal is really to make the best gamified life management planner, calendar app that the world has seen, and that can help people reduce the gap between how they spend their time and how they actually want to spend it, to help them be more intentional. And of course, I'm the first client for my app, and for example, the last month has been a good example of why I need an app to kind of set boundaries around my time, hold myself accountable, keep track of my goals, and basically create systems which I can rely on to reach my goals. And there's this quote I love by James Clear that says, "You don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems." And so that's what I hope Origami can be for people. More psychologically oriented productivity app, full life management system to help people be more intentional with what they do and how they live, whatever shape or form their life is going to take. So, see you next time. Bye.